Saudara dan saudari, nama saya Chee Meng. Izinkan saya berkata dalam bahasa Melayu. Saya janji akan bekerja keras untuk berkhidmat kepada anda. Sokonglah pesuka PAP kami. Terima kasih banyak. 大家晚上好。大家好，我是白沙板儿集选区新来的候选人之一黄志明。我竞选的目的是为民服务，我一心为居民建设更美好的将来而努力。今年是新加坡建国50周年，我和我家人能够在这繁荣安稳的国土上稳健成长，都是因为建国一代的无私贡献，为我们铺出了一个和谐的社会，让我的兄长和弟弟都能够接受良好的教育，安心工作，成家立业。我在此向他们深深的表示感激。新加坡给了我现有的一切，我立志负起社会责任，取之社会，用之社会，为国效劳，为民服务。放眼国际形势的发展，如恐怖局势的扩散，将会对新加坡带来一定的威胁。国际经济的缩条也会深深的影响新加坡的经济繁荣。同时，我们也面对国内民生课题，如生活费的提高、交通与组屋、组织家庭与生儿育女等这些课题，都需要国民齐心，与政府一起树立方针来应对，才能把新加坡推向另一个里程碑，迈向繁荣的未来。我希望能够获得您强有力的支持，与您共同迈进，为我们的父母，为我们的下一代，创造一个更好、更和谐的社会，更美好的新加坡。谢谢大家支持 PAP。请投我们一票。Good evening, dear residents from Pasir Ris, Punggol GRC, brothers and sisters from Sengkang West and Punggol East, friends, fellow Singaporeans, and some of you I see from the SAF. As a new candidate, I would just like to briefly introduce myself to you. I'm Chee Meng, 47 years old, happily married with 2 teenage daughters in their late teens. I am a typical Singaporean son. I grew up with our Singapore through the good times and the bad times. And I've never forgotten where I've come from, where my roots are. Singapore gave me a home, where my family could feel safe, where Singapore afforded my siblings and I unimagined opportunities to make a living for ourselves and make ourselves useful for Singapore. I could pursue my dreams in Singapore only because Singapore and Singaporeans, and because the PAP created a system where you and I, from average Singaporean background, with no networks, with no patronage, can succeed. This is our meritocratic system that afforded us all these opportunities, and I would like to come out to serve all of you to ensure that our future generations have such opportunities. I have a reasonable understanding of Singapore and fellow Singaporean needs and dreams. And over the last few weeks, since I retired, I've walked some more, I've walked more to be with you on the ground, as I promised. I've spoken to many of my residents in the precinct I'm in charge of. And I've heard many of you share with me your feedback about our living environment, your aspirations, hopes, your worries, your fears about our future. At the living condition level, many of you have told me your desire for better transport infrastructure, more convenient access to healthcare, better childcare facilities, and also schools. We want a good living environment for our families to enjoy and for our kids to grow up in. These are very reasonable concerns and desires that I will see to. Not only I have heard your feedback, but as Dr. Jani has said, we have all heard your feedback. And we have already made plans to address your concerns and needs. Many projects are already underway. For example, to ease the traffic congestion in Pasir Ris, Loyang Avenue will be widened. For Punggol and the TPE, LTA have allowed a dual use of the bus lane at the affected exit. And we are also building a temporary new road to allow Punggol East to join into the KPE, and we are doubling the capacity of the LRT. This all will be ready in short times. For convenient access to healthcare, we have started building a polyclinic in Punggol Town and a new general hospital in Sengkang. This will be ready by 2017 and 2018 respectively. In terms of quality childcare and education for our kids, we are ramping up childcare facilities to boost capacities. We'll build additional 1,700 slots by end 2016. We are also building 3 new primary schools with enrollment starting in a few months. In terms of recreation and food choices, I think my residents are a little bit more picky than Janius. They have asked for some more food choices, and I've heard them. I'm glad to inform them if they drive a short few kilometers to Pasir Ris, there will be a new hawker center. This will be ready by 2017. If they take a short walk, they will reach the Waterway Mall in Punggol New Town. This will be ready by end of this year or early 2016. This mall will have a 24-hour NTUC, 150 outlets, and new food choices. Well, it is not just the facilities that I've seen or I've heard from residents. Last night, when I was coming back downstairs after a block visit, after an afternoon of block visits to go for my dinner, a young lady shouted for me, saying, "Mr. Ng, please wait." I was surprised. I'm quite new to the town. And this lady, Sherilyn, ran all the way up and said hello to me, because I had taken some time to talk to her mother and her sister in the afternoon. When she heard that I was in the vicinity, she ran all the way just to say hello. And I was very impressed with this young lady. She ran downstairs, to see me even as she was rushing off to serve the residents at a community event. Having stepped into politics, it is at this level of interaction with you, our residents, that makes it all worthwhile when we, hand in hand, create better homes in terms of infrastructure and in terms of creating a kampong spirit where we not only have the world's best facilities, but hearts for our fellow residents to gel together as a community, to take care of each other, to be a united people as Singaporeans. Our team, thank you. Our team would like to continue serving you. We are committed to building your homes where our children can grow up in a wholesome environment. The PAP team is one that will deliver all this. And tonight, I humbly ask for your vote. Please vote for the PAP. In one of my block visits, one resident told me that he was not just concerned about constituency needs, but also the future of Singapore. I agree with him. I told him he was very circumspect. This election is about bread and butter issues, but it's also about our future, Singapore's future. To have a brighter future, we must elect leaders and MPs that will be there with you, working hard for you, and who are committed to our Singapore. Good leaders are needed to ensure we have a strong economy so that Singaporeans can have good jobs to make a living for ourselves and for our families. Look at the world economy the last few weeks. It is in very uncertain waters. The stock markets are volatile and seesawing. Singapore is a small red dot in a turbulent sea. Good leaders must also ensure our security, that Singapore remains safe and secure in our turbulent world. Look around us. In Malaysia, there's growing unrest. Further afield, bombings in Bangkok, Thailand again. And the growing Indonesian nationalism is also a concern. There have been blowing up fishing vessels, intercepting our civilian aircrafts. How then do we get good leaders? I'll say it simply for you tonight. Vote for the PAP. Vote us into Parliament. PAP have a proven record. We have good, clean governments for 50 years. Singapore has succeeded beyond imagination to reach GE2015. But at the heart of it all, it is not only the policies we make that have brought us here. At the center of it all remains the core, where the PAP have our people at the center of our heart when we make our policies. This will never change. The PAP will always stand up for you, with you, for Singapore. Please vote us into Parliament. Let us win this election for Pasir Ris Punggol. Let us win this election for Singapore. Thank you very much.